So in today's video, I'll be sharing with you all how we got our 5 years US visa. Now, we have applied for so many visas in the past, and thankfully, all of them were approved. From my husband's first visa application to the UK, to our dependent visa, to all the visas we've applied for our parents, down to our US visa that we recently applied for. We applied for all these visas by ourselves, and interestingly, we got all of them approved. We have never got any visa we applied for denied. That is because we put a lot of work into every application that we make. We ask a lot of questions, do a lot of research, just to make sure that everything goes well. Because trust me, visa denial is not one that you wish for yourself, because it's very painful. Not only does it cost money to apply for visas, it requires a lot of paperwork and it can be very stressful. So getting your visa denied after all this stress can be very painful, and then you never recover the money because the money and all the work you put in is gone. So I'll be sharing with you all everything you need to know about applying for a US visa, everything that we did, the step-by-step application guide, down to the specific questions we asked when we went for our visa interview, the cost, and basically everything around it. So if it's something you're interested in, please stick around with me where we'll go straight into it. My name is Tochi. You're welcome to my channel. Please give this video a thumbs up if you get value. Kindly share it to everyone that will benefit from it. You know how we do it here. To all my amazing subscribers, you guys are welcome back. And if you're yet to subscribe, kindly do so, because I share amazing content that you definitely love here. So please consider sticking around with me. Now, before I continue, I would love to introduce you all to the sponsors of today's video, LemFi. LemFi is a reliable app that anyone can use to send money from the US, Canada, and UK to 10 African countries. You can send money to Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, Senegal, Ivory Coast, Cameroon, Benin, Tanzania, Uganda, and Rwanda at 0 fees. Yes, there are no hidden charges at all. You send money absolutely for free, and you're sure that the recipient will receive the money immediately you send it, right? I've been using LemFi for a while now. I can guarantee you that it's very fast, it's easy to use, it's completely free, and it's secured. And guess what, guys? They have the best rates you can find in the market. You can ask around, right? So you will always get your complete value for money. To get started, you can download the app with my referral link in the description box to get 15% cash back, yes, on your first transactions above £100, capped at £50. Alternatively, you can download the app directly from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store and enter my code Tochi to benefit from this offer. So please download the LemFi app today if you haven't already, and begin to send money to Africa for free. And don't forget to use my code Tochi. Now back to the video. So let's go straight into it. I'm going to share my screen with you all so that you will see everything down to specific questions or how we answered our own questions, just so that you know what to do, have an idea of what to do or what works for us as well, because I know that a lot of you are interested in this, because I got lots of questions around that. Okay, so trust me to always share good information with you guys. So this is it, official US visa information and appointment services. You pick which one you want to apply for. Is it temporary visas or permanent visas? So we went for the non-immigrant visa applications, right? So you click on it, and then consulate locations, right? Now these are all the locations you can pick from. Wherever you are, you just select it. We applied for the United Kingdom, obviously, so here it is. So once you click on it, to bring you to this page, and then you take your time to read through it and begin your application. So here you see number 1, apply. The second is continue, and then how to apply. So you click on apply and you begin your application, right? So it will bring you to this page, apply for a non-immigrant visa. So you take your time, obviously you read through it, and then you select a location where you will be applying for this visa. So right, let's select a location. There are 2 locations in the UK. There's Belfast and there's London, just so you know. You select the one that is closer to you, right? So this is England, London. That's what we selected. And then you enter the code as shown. This code that is here. So once you enter the code, you also see this visa application will ask you to upload a digital photo of yourself. You can test photo standard just for the guide, but we'll get into all that later. And then you start application. You either start an application or you retrieve an application. Once you click on start your application, this is the next page. You read through it, obviously. Computer fraud and abuse act notices, you read through it, you agree to it. And then most importantly, it will give you your application ID. So please, once you get this application ID, copy it or write it out somewhere and keep it very securely, because this is your ID. Like anytime you want to log into your account, you will always put in this ID. So don't forget it, right? Just write it down and keep it somewhere. And also there'll be a security question. Okay, what is the given name of your mother's mother? There are so many of them, so you can pick the one that you can easily remember the answer. You have to answer it so that you can continue. So let's say Luke. Okay, so continue. Right, so this is now the main application page where you now start filling the form. And know that you have to be very sincere with your answers, right? Because these people, I don't know, they just have a way of finding out if you're lying to them or if you're not sincere with all the answers you give. So you must be very detailed and very, very sincere. Let me see if I can get my own application so that I can remember exactly how I answered the questions. So it's basically your personal details: name, phone number, where you live, where you're from, place of birth, sex, and all of that, country of origin, your phone number, and things like that. Right, your address, now down to your email address. I put my 2 email addresses because I have my personal email and my business email. I put it down here. And then in my social media accounts, I put all of them down. This is interesting, right? Yeah, even my YouTube channel, I put everything down: the name, my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all my social media platforms. I put the names there. I don't know if they checked it, but they asked for it. So for them to ask for it, it means that they might check it. So you have to be very sincere with that as well. Okay, then passport number, city where it was issued, my travel information, all the places I've been before, and all of that. You will see all the questions, just answer them as you see it. Okay, a purpose of the trip to the US: tourism or medical treatment. B2, that is the visa category. And have you made specific travel plans? I said no, because at that point I had not made any plans. I wasn't even sure if my visa would be approved. But for people who are going for conferences or who are going for specific things, they can put yes here. But for us, obviously we hadn't made any plans at all, so we put no in the application. But they also asked for intended date of arrival, so I gave them a specific time that we would love to travel. We traveled in August, so I put like 1st of August. And then intended length of stay in the US, I wrote 2 weeks. Address where you will stay in the US, I put my cousin's address because my cousin lives in the US, right? Who is paying for your trip? We say we are paying for it ourselves. And are there other persons traveling with you? I said yes, because I'll be traveling with my husband. We're applying together. And then, are you traveling as part of a group or organization? I said no, and all of that. So I put the name of the person, my husband, the person I'm traveling with. They say relationship, I said spouse. Then, have you ever been to the US? Have you ever been issued a US visa? All of that, no. So has anyone filed for an immigration petition on your behalf? I said no. Then I put the contact information of my cousin. Remember I said that I have a cousin in the US, right? So I put her details, her address and everything there, her phone number and all of that. So my family information, you can put that for yourself: your mother's name, mother's maiden name, father's name, all of that information you give them. Their addresses you give them, right? Where your spouse was born, where you were born, you know how all those things can be. You put all of that. Then work information, work, education, training information. So I put all of that. We put all of that, address, down to previous employment as well, right? So it did not just end in what you do currently. They also asked for, I think, 3 previous employments, and I put all of them there: their address, phone number, email address, and everything like that. So I put my university and secondary school, right? So the year I attended, year of graduation, and all of that, we put all that information there. So they also asked if you have been in the army before, and all those security questions and background information. So you just read it and answer all of them. Okay, it's very straightforward. It's a very straightforward application, even though at the time you're applying for it, it might be a lot, but if you take your time, you would answer all of them accurately. So just take your time so that you don't miss anything. And then before I forget, after you have answered all these questions, please print this page. You know why? You're not going for the interview with it. It's your copy, just so that when you go for the interview, there's some answers you might give here that you will not forget, right? So that when they ask you a question, like any question that is here, you don't give a different answer from what you have put down here. So that is why you should print this copy and just keep for yourself, so that you familiarize yourself with all the answers that you give. You get my point? Even though if you're very sincere, it wouldn't be an issue, because any answer you give here is the same answer you're going to give during the interview, okay? But just print it and keep it for yourself. That was what we did. So once you're done with the application form, it will ask you to upload your passport photograph. You do that, and then it also ask you to download your confirmation. That's the confirmation of the application, right? But before you submit, make sure you check it thoroughly, because once you submit, you can't go back to change anything that you have answered, okay? So this is what the confirmation looks like. You print it. Remember to also print your application form, like I explained earlier. You print it, and then you print this one as well, okay? This is your online non-immigrant visa application DS-160. You print it because you'll be taking this to the embassy, for your interview, okay? So once you're done with that, the next stage is to come here and create an account to pick an appointment date for your interview, okay? So once you create an account, remember, if you are applying with your spouse or if you're applying as a group, you have to upload all your stuff together here, okay? Visa appointment wait times. Right now, you pick the city, the embassy where you would like to go, obviously the one that is closer to you. This is London. You will also see the wait times: non-immigrant visa type, appointment wait time. So for London, this visa we apply for B1 B2, interview required 114 calendar days. So you see how long you have to wait. We waited for, I think, 4 months. For hours, yeah, 4 months from when we applied to when we got our interview date, okay? If you're going with Belfast, let's see, for B1 B2 is 110 calendar days, so it's just 4 days difference for Belfast, okay? So you wait, see study visa, see how long you have to wait. 9 calendar days is not so much. Let's even see if you're applying from Nigeria. So let's say you're applying for Lagos. Let's see how long you have to wait. Wow, 484 calendar days. That is more than a year, because we have 365 days in a year, right? That's over a year wait time for a visit visa. For student visa, this is how long you have to wait: 149 calendar days. Wow. Let's see Abuja as well. Let's just see the one that is faster. 521 calendar days. Abuja is even worse than Lagos. Wow. Anyway, we chose London, and right now that I'm making the video, this is how long you have to wait to get an appointment date: 114 calendar days. So you go through it and pick a date of your choice. Remember that this is how long you have to wait, so you have to put all that into consideration whenever you're applying, and try to apply early. You know, just putting in consideration the number of time or the months you have to wait, right? So once you pick a date for your appointment, they will send you a confirmation email, confirmation of your appointment. You print that, okay? You print your appointment confirmation and your application confirmation as well. That's what you're going to take for your interview with your passports, okay? Your international passports. Of course, you can't go without your international passports, okay? Then you now print your supporting documents, all the documents that might help your application. For us, we printed a lot of documents. I think we're even over prepared, but it's better to always be on the side of excess. That's why I always say we printed our bank statement, our work details, business details, everything that you can think of, our house documents, everything. And then we also got an invitation letter from my cousin in the US. We went with that as well. We printed a lot of things. You can imagine that a day to our application, the night before our application, we were awake. Our papers, all the papers we had in the house finished. We had to call on our friends. Please, we're coming to your house at that time of the night to collect papers, to continue printing. Bank statement, 3 months bank statement, like we printed a lot. If you see how full and heavy our bag was, you just be saying, you guys, where are you going to with this heavy bag, right? But we were really prepared. We covered everything, like any question that we can think of, because we watched a lot of videos, possible questions they asked for interview. We had the answers and still took documents to back it up and everything, because you know with US visa you get your answer there and then you know right in the embassy whether your visa was approved or not, right? So on the day of the interview, we went to London for the interview, and then the interview, so when it got to our turn, you can see the crowd was a lot, so we had to wait a long time on the queue. So when it eventually got to our turn, what were the questions that we were asked? Let me remember. They asked us where you work, okay, what do you do? They first asked me, because we went together, it was like a application we did together, so we went for an interview together side by side. But they asked me first, what do you do? I answered. How long have you been in the UK? I answered. They asked my husband what he does as well. He gave them the answer. They asked how long we have stayed in the UK. We answered, and then they asked us if we had, what was the purpose of our travel, the reason for our travel. We said we're visiting family and friends. But these were just the questions they asked us, right? And here, there and then they told us our visa was approved, right? And also you wouldn't know how many years you got until you get your passport back, right? I also forgot to mention that during your application, or once you're picking your date for your appointments, you also pick if you want the passport to be delivered to you or you want to go back to the embassy to pick it up. We also pay an amount of money for that. So the application cost $185 per person, and then we paid £21 for our passport to be delivered to us. So it is when you get your passports, you know how many years you got, whether you got 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, or whatever. So when we got ours, it was 5 years. Anyway, back to the interview day. Those were just the questions they asked us, and guess what? Guess what, guys? They didn't ask for any documents apart from our confirmation of appointment and then our passport, obviously, that we went with. Nothing else. They didn't ask us for any other documents. So imagine us, imagine the feeling after we had stayed awake all night to print all those plenty documents. They didn't even ask us for that. So yeah, that was how we got our visa approved. In fact, after the guy just asked us those questions, I told you, like those 3 or 4 questions, he just said, congratulations, your visa was approved. I was like, wow, oh, thank you so much. Thank you very much, right? So yeah, that was it. That was how our application and interview went. Then we got our passport back and we saw that they gave us 5 years. Okay, so yeah, that is it. I hope this video helps. If you have done your visa application, US visa application before, please feel free to share your experience with us in the comment section, okay? If you plan to apply for yours as well, you can do some of these things that we have said. Feel free to also make your further research just so that you get your own visa approved. So thank you everyone for watching today's video. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye-bye.